This is a short video of ProgrammExpress, the cloud-based program and project reporting tool specifically for Luceco. Just a short video as a sort of like a prelim to a fuller demo where we're going to show ProgrammExpress, the login screen showing a demo system which we will use. That would be luceco.programmexpress.co.uk. Each of our clients has their own instance of a database. And if we log on, we can be an administrator, a write access user, or a read-only user. If we log on as the administrator, it takes us straight to our home screen. And what that does is really shows the whole portfolio of projects, the health and status, and allow us to run reports. We build our own structure and portfolio, so this is purely demo. So if you open the portfolio, we've got a series of projects, programs. We can open them up and we can see the projects that sit within all of the programs. We can see the health of each of those projects, whether they're red, amber, green, and there are auto tolerance levels for some of the areas, and some are subjective, for example, the overall status of a project. From here, we can assume that everybody's made their updates. We can go into a project or select it, and we can move along any one of the modules. Shown here as icons, better described through the Updates tab as commentary, plan, resources, cost, benefits, impacts, risks, and logs. Now, you don't need all the functionality and you can filter it out, and I'll demonstrate that. So let's assume that everybody has made their updates. They've clicked on one of these modules, clicking within the squares. Everybody's made their updates. What that allows us to do is to then run reports at project level or portfolio level or program level, whatever level you want. And we can open up shared reports, my reports, and the shared reports as an example. This will be our bread and butter, a RAG status summary. Everybody's made their updates. We've now got a automated, consolidated, and aggregated RAG status report of all the projects, who's running them, the plan dates, bit of dashboard RAG status, and then some commentary. Now, this is configurable. You don't need some of these columns. You can add extra commentary threads, etc., etc. So there's just an example of how quickly you can produce a RAG status report. Or maybe you want to produce a Gantt chart report. And this, again, running at portfolio level, will show the plan as a Gantt chart for every single project sitting within the portfolio. So you see the projects and you see the phases. You'll see the phases of each of the projects are very similar because we use templates. I know that's a potential requirement, but it will show the health of the tasks, and green meaning they're on track, red meaning they've missed a deadline, and amber meaning they're forecasting to be later than what the steering group or the governance group expected them to be. So very simply, we can produce a Gantt chart of all the information. Maybe we want to have a look at more of a one-pager across the supply chain projects. So what we could do is run a one-page summary. So automatically it will produce the project update information in more of a PowerPoint fashion. So you'll have a timeline, you have the project, you'll have your commentary threads, which again can be configured and changed. And that will be for all the projects that have been started within the supply chain project. Now, it's very easy for the project manager to make the updates to the project. So if the project manager or the user logs on to ProgrammExpress, and we're going to use me, Nick Wilson, and log in, it will take us to the same home screen, but you'll see a different view. The view for the project manager or the updater will be of the projects they have write access to. So it just slims everything down and makes it simple and intuitive, and just the modules that they are expected to update. So each user will have specific user access, but be it read access, write access, and then filtered out by which modules they are expected to update. So in this case, BI reporting, we've got commentary. So we click in, we'd have a look at all the commentary threads. People make their updates. It will say who's made what, when. They'll move through and update their plan. See the phases of the plan. They can make changes or additions. If you wanted to, you can take the template milestones and you can start to add information sitting below that. So no problem starting with a template and then building your plan with extra detail from there. It doesn't replace Microsoft Project if you're looking at interdependencies. It's more from a program and project reporting perspective, but if people use Excel, then it certainly replaces the need to do that. And then moving through to resources, if that's a requirement, you can add resources to the project, the total project, the planned tasks or specific dates if it's a requirement. And then you can move through to your logs, which can be whatever you configure. We've got issues, actions, decisions, lessons learned, scope change. So you can build a log of events, actions, issues, decisions within your project. Very quickly, you've made your update. Maybe that takes 15 minutes. I can have my report set up to say, right, well, let's see a different type of report, more of a Word portrait style report, which you can export to Word, and that will be BI reporting, commentary, plan, risks, actions, issues, decisions for that specific project. So the user project manager can make their updates, so they can set up their own report and they can see what does it look like if I've made my update. So back into everybody has a very simple way of updating, and then the administrator again, who has full access to all the projects and also has access, which is filtered out for the normal user, to all the admin screens where you make the configuration changes. That takes about half a day to set up all the different configurations, commentary threads that you require. If you wanted to set up a new project, and a requirement is for templates for different things. So we could have a template for retailer launch, we could have a template for new LED lighting product. So what that means is that as we set up a new project, we could add a new project, we could call it whatever, Luceco LED, and we could say for this template, we want to use the new LED lighting product. Click OK. What that does, we've now added a project. We can go to our plan, the template's already laid out, and that will be a template for the Luceco LED project. If I were to add another one within digital, probably not the right place, but just as an example, I'll call it Luceco again. And then I could use another template. I could use the retailer launch. Click OK. And again, now a new project within digital, and you'll see that the template plan is different. So what we can do is we can set up as many templates for different areas as we so wish. So from that perspective, that's how to add a project. One more thing we can do is we could set up a new portfolio if we wanted to. So let me call that Luceco board, for example. And if we did that, we'd set it up as a peer, not a child of the portfolio, so it's outside of what everybody else sees. And we could wire in all the projects that are important to the board. So we could copy in two or three or four or five projects within there, and all the reports that I've been showing you, I could then run against specifically the portfolio that we've just wired. So there's total flexibility in what projects sit in what area. So we've just wired in that, and then you can have the Luceco board and all the reports that I've shown you. You would be able to run a one-page summary, for example, against all the projects that are important to the Luceco board. So plenty of versatility and flexibility from that perspective. We've got 6 projects that we've specifically interested in. So from a reporting pack perspective, it automatically sets itself up. So that's just a little bit of a flavor, but showing that we can set up a structure. We can set up a fairly fixed structure, purely demo, and you can start to build it your way. and then you can set up other portfolio views as well, depending on the requirement from stakeholders, from sponsors, etc. If resource planning is of interest, then maybe we can have a look at the resource usage summary across the portfolio. This is not a deep dive resource management tool, but it replaces the need for Excel. So resources are aligned to plans, and it starts to show who's working on what projects and the health of that resource, and whether they're under allocated or over allocated. And one more report may be red risks. So let's just filter out all the red risks, and I show this one because I sort of like believe it's important. So all of a sudden now we've just got the red risks across the whole portfolio. So that's just to give a short flavour for Luceco. I hope that that is a good prelim, sows a seed for a further demonstration, and I thank you for watching.